but I let it go. When your best amounts to nothing, you have to let it show. Get down to the city, take me down in the night, make it all into nothing. The pressure's got me, don't wanna see tomorrow. All I got when it's light, gonna make it feel nothing. The pressure's got me tonight. Keep on working and working and working and working on out. Keep on working and working and working and working on out. Yeah. Don't wanna see tomorrow.
E-Gaming Bets. We accept bets on computer games online since 2011. Referral system for regular users and the first deposit bonus. Gaming devices store and the best choice of payment systems. Dota 2 and Hearthstone, Counter-Strike and StarCraft, World of Tanks and League of Legends. EGB.com. You know for sure who's going to win.
G2A.com, the best video game store ever! Fast as lightning, solid as a rock, cheap as duck! What's more, you can sell on it because it's also a marketplace. Remember G2A.com, the best video game store ever!
Hello everybody and welcome back here to your coverage of DotaPit Season 4 by G2A. I'm your host for the English live stream today for the Southeast Asian region, Toby1. Of course, there's more action coming up later tonight if you weren't checking out the details before. We have 2 European games, in fact actually 3 European games coming. It is the EU Closed Qualifier, which will begin at 18 CET, which is in roughly 5 hours. So not too far away. We'll have Durker as well as Cap here in the studio to cast that one. For now, it's myself as well as Modpax, who will now give audio DO2, who are casting 1, 2, 3 going up against Trust, who, mod packs. It hasn't been a favorable run for them recently. They've had some real rough times.
Yeah, just taking a look at some of those recent games. So looking to kind of get back on the roll. You know, it's all post-major. Everyone's been watching the big teams play, taking a look at the heroes they've been playing, probably bouncing off of that when you do your scrims with your partners and everything like that. So hopefully we'll see some of those tactics come out here. Both teams trying to always make a name for themselves. It's a new season, so it's time to start ramping up, get your scrims on, and look towards those big major qualifiers.
Well, at least they can get off to a good start, potentially. It's the first time these teams have played in the DotaPit tournament. Of course, we've only been playing the SEA region for 2 days, but already Fnatic is sitting in #1 position. Even with the draw, they still actually have themselves, I believe, the points has been updated there at 3. So you should get 2 points for a win, 1 point for a draw, and then 0 points for the loss. So yeah, they are sitting there at the top of the board, and Signature.Trust and MVP next to 1, 2, 3 are the only teams that have not played games yet. But MVP will be playing, I believe they got a game tomorrow, so definitely tune in for that one. As far as the matchup goes, you're looking at a... Okay, there we go. You're looking at the favorites going to 1, 2, 3 as far as the esports betting goes. So 1.5 to the 2.2 of Signature.Trust. 1, 2, 3. They've had more victories recently. Signature.Trust haven't had a victory in over a month. So it's been rough for them recently.
Time for the bounce back. It's time for the draft now. So maybe I don't know. I guess drafting hasn't changed all too much from the majors. It's still the big players like the Doom, the Shadow Fiend, but some of the players are making their way up. The Bane, one of the bigger ones. I'm not sure if we'll see any IO strategies. Of course, always one that kind of maneuvers itself around. All kinds of options available right now. I think it's a really great meta. I'll be sad to see it go, but I'm always excited for some new stuff.
Well, if you want someone to run an IO strategy, Signature.Trust will be it. They do enjoy running the Wisp Tiny together. They enjoy that. But, yeah, if you get that or not, we're about to find out, the SF and the Slanter. So, wow, it really does feel like the major, with the Slanter being banned out in the first 2. The question is, of course, going to be, do you allow the Doombringer to get through, and what are the other critical heroes that you just don't want to see? Because if you look back at the old days of Signature.Trust, like, you would actually ban not only the Wisp against them in the first phase, but you cannot forget, like, Lakel's Morphling. That used to be his major thing. So you have to start looking about the signature heroes of Trust.
Yeah, that was the classic. Bringing that out, all kinds of roles. Mid, throw into the safe lane. Basically do whatever they'd like. I'm not sure if we'll see the offlane Morphling. I mean, that's just a little bit too crazy. But
well, unless you're ice, you won't do that.
Yeah.
Well, we have one ice in the game. The other guy who's not 3 times, just the once. And that's actually
even at 2 times.
Hmm? Yeah,
there's an ice in China.
Yeah, there's an ice in China. There's actually, I believe there's 2 ices in Southeast Asia, not including ice. So I think there's another one that floats around. Can't exactly remember where he's from though, but I remember having those issues. They might have actually been dating back there to Dota 1, but yeah, there was some dual name people floating around. It is a rather, I wouldn't say common name, but it's a common word at least. Yeah, but
well,
1, 2, 3 have changed up their roster recently. So PPX, as well as Ice, Ling, 343, and Yamate. Yamate has kind of been the core of this lineup for a while now. But yeah, they've been switching in and out players, and I believe this roster that they're playing with today is the roster that they signed up to the majors with as well.
Yeah, it appears that way. Playing a few official matches already. And with that Doom, I'm guessing we're going to see the answer with the AA. It seems to be the standard thing. You know, it's obviously great for helping to deal with that scorched earth moving into the mid game. And it'll be the Queen of Pain, a little bit mobile. Try and blink away, hopefully before that Doom lands on your head.
But is it Queen of Pain as well as AA? Like, AA makes the most sense. I definitely won't disagree with you.
What's it going to leave open is the question, though. Could still open up with like a Doom Lich. We saw how powerful that was last game from Mineski.
Yeah, but you're not going to block.
Great combo.
You're not going to block pick a Lich. Yeah, that's just.
Oh
not
no,
worth it. You can look for heroes that can kill off the Lich. However, like if you feel like you want to get aggressive, grab something like a Spirit Breaker, for example. It's a little early for that, but he's probably going to be banned out in the second phase. And, well, it was a
Same idea.
It was a melee aggression hero, and it's the Night Stalker.
Yeah, you can't doom anybody if you can't see them, so just take control of the vision and start some early roaming. Really great for the Queen of Pain. It really helps when you can pop that early nighttime, probably around the second. You pop the darkness, gives your Queen of Pain a lot more mobility in terms of making some rotations of the lanes unseen and making some of those big plays with the Sonic Wave. So now, keeping that in mind, it's a little scary to go for the AA. It's so hard. Like, if it's not often we actually see the Night Stalker get caught because he's so fast. It looks like they'll go with the Bane. So great at stifling that early aggression. You got the Nightmare. You're also going to have the Enfeeble, of course. Pretty good up against the Night Stalker.
This could be a really long, drawn-out fight. You have someone like a Night Stalker, if he is being run as a support, which at this point I will assume he is being so. Very tanky. Great slows, always chasing. So the fights will drag on with him there. And then Bane, like the master of survival, be it through his 2 control abilities or be it through his life gaining and life taking away brain sap. So it's really difficult to kill him off, really difficult to kill the Doom, and Queen of Pain's just a hit and run star girl. Loves you and leaves you.
When you're working with the Night Stalker, it's nice to pair up with someone who has a stun, like even just for rotating around. So having a carry with a stun or an offlane with a stun. And the Wraith King is still in the pool, and it's something that we see up against the Doom a lot of the time, and that's because it is good. Now, of course, there's going to be the Bane, and so you're already dealing with, like, now I've got a Night Stalker and a Wraith King that might get kited, but it is still a solid core if they want to look towards that. But probably later in the draft, you don't really want to give that away early.
10 seconds remaining.
And they're going to choose to ban out the Darkseer in this case. So very nice. You don't want that Iron Shell stacked on the Night Stalker running you down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and just as far as your laning goes, well, then again, maybe they're also thinking about a melee core.
Yeah, it's true. Don't want to get zoned out by the... I mean, it leaves the possibility... you can always run the Doom up against the Darkseer simply because you can just eat the creep with the Iron Shell on top of it, which is always nice.
True.
Pretty big counter in that sense. But it does guarantee... It's just easier. You know, he's such a good anti-carry hero. One of the true last ones remaining, I feel, about Darkseer. Like, just able to shut down the farm so hard. It can make it very hard to bounce back in the mid-game for certain cores.
You always gotta love, too, like, the off-laning heroes, which have the ability to have a second option, aka move jungle or start rotation.
Yeah. Not many of those left.
Yeah.
In terms of the jungle.
At the same time, like, they've become more and more popular. Like, you think about, like, where is Clockwork? Maybe that's one of the biggest questions to ask of late. Where is the Clockwork? I haven't seen any teams drafting this hero.
He's in a tough spot right now. You know, Earthshaker's not as popular as he was before, so he's not so... Like, that was one of the best parts, is that he's one of those guaranteed heroes that just does nothing when you're up against him as a Clockwork. And now you've got things like the Bane, who has enough range to help deal with things like the Clockwork. You can Nightmare your allies. You have to deal with the AA Blast. It's just a lot of stuff that kind of maneuvers around the cogs. I don't know. It's just not... and then, of course, you got the Ember Spirit and the Queen of Pain. Can't lock them down. It's just not quite as good. Still viable, though, so certainly something they could look towards if you've got someone who really feels the hero and wants to play on it. But as we talked about, actually, the Wraith King and the Lich will get banned out. So all those meta picks just gone, and let's go. Juggernaut!
The man has arrived. A big, big, manly Juggernaut. But at the same time, like, now you're running 2 melee heroes against the control of Bane, and Bane is still very good against the Juggernaut. Spin won't save him from the Fiend's grip. And the Queen of Pain, like, if she gets doomed up, there's not much more she can do. And Juggernaut, we have to remember, is not really a tanky hero. Especially if he doesn't go for, like, the S and Y build. He won't have a lot of survivability. So you will actually do some heavy damage with a Doom.
Yeah, and they already have 2 heroes now that can stop that whole spin TP in terms of just getting away with free split push. And now a 3rd hero that can help deal with that with Laguna Blade. All having to get through that magic community.
Yeah, not even just that. Like, the Bane, the Lina synergy is perfect. You can run this Lina as a support if you wanted to. Just Nightmare into a Light Strike at Ray. There's no time to respond when you do such a combo. And with Laguna Blade, as you said, like, you stop the spin combo by killing the Juggernaut.
10 seconds.
You know, at this rate, I'm even thinking something towards like a tiny for Satu Dua Tiga. We'll go with that. That sounds good.
Satu Dua Tiga. 1, 2, 3.
Reserve time.
Oh, you're so cultured, Toby.
Well, no, I had to learn it. I'm like, wait, what does this stand for? It's fairly obvious. It's like 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. It's like, yeah.
But when you have, like, obviously Lina can go in the mid lane, but having two nice, really good range supports, it does allow you to have quite a few rotations early on, and having the Tiny, like, we've seen how powerful he can be, and again, it's another thing that can help deal with this Juggernaut. He'll be nice and tanky for the Omni Slash, doesn't really get run down by the Night Stalker. You'd have to silence the Tiny, but of course you're looking at a Bane Lina. Certainly a really nice pick here, and the Witch Doctor is someone who's really fallen off lately, like more in favor of the Wyvern, the Dazzle, but neither of them picked up or banned so far.
Signature.Trust are reviving the older combination. Healing Ward plus Voodoo Restoration from the Witch Doctor. Huge sustain when it comes to team fights.
5 seconds.
The Death Ward also
remaining.
does a great amount, and the Bane's going to have a real difficult time getting that full
Reserve
Fiend's Grip
time.
out when the Witch Doctor's on the field, or at least his Paralyzing Cask is bouncing around on the field. That thing is practically an ultimate. We always talk about the control of the Shackle. The Paralyzing Cask with the damage it deals, if you can isolate two heroes together, you may as well be walking around with like a black hole.
Yeah, and now seeing the Healing Ward and the Voodoo Restoration, I'm almost tempted to say the Ancient Apparition, but with the Witch Doctor, like, you just don't have that kind of lockdown for the Death Ward. And speaking of the devil, so looks like they're willing to still run them, and I like it a lot more on their lineup compared to Signature.Trust trying to go for it. There's not nearly as much that can reach over the cogs coming from the side of Signature.Trust.
Okay, Signature.Trust almost have to, like, what I'd like to see them do is change this up and run the Night Stalker on the off lane, or maybe run like the Juggernaut Witch Doctor dual off lane and run a Clockwork, a Rubik and Night Stalker on the safe lane. Actually push the Night Stalker into a core roll and have something up against the Clockwork.
Yeah, it's a great Rubik game. Obviously, it's the one that everyone looks to from the Clockwork, but then you've got a Bane, a Lina, and a Doom. I mean, those are three heroes that are just perfect for stealing spells from. Especially the Doom. It always makes him a little bit wary of throwing out that Doom anytime he can spot the Rubik, and not just ban, or obviously Doom the Rubik itself. So it can open up a lot of space for some of your allies. Certainly a nice decision there.
Well, that's if they agree with us. That's if they agree with us. But they do need something. And unless they're considering like a specific core for the offlane up against the Clockwork.
Dire team ban.
Satu, they like 1, 2, 3 may disband it out anyway. Just remove the option. Because what other core is really going to cause the problem?
Yeah, I can't really think of anything that's gonna like pair up that well with the Night Stalker and the Witch Doctor. Maybe something for push. Like, they don't really have that much for helping with the towers, but there's just frankly not that many like off laners or solo safe laners that really fulfill that role besides like a Beastmaster. But it's not the worst option here, but I don't know.
5 seconds remaining.
Nothing completely obvious, and of course the Rubik ban. So
it just makes sense. So Signature.Trust can't switch it up. Yeah, there's very little that actually disrupts the Clockwork, and they go for a Viper. So they're gonna stick to their guns. They run the cores. Viper able to tank when a Clockwork initiates in on him, and that is such a tanky surviving lineup from Trust. Satu needs more damage. Like, they actually need to run this Lina as a support. Get her to a point where, like, a Laguna Blade, there's also a support that can rotate into the jungle and give Lina the top lane. That might be the better option.
What about the AA still? Just rotate, keep her in the mid lane, take the AA, because you know they're going to be grouping up and pushing your towers, or shoving the Viper in the front. It would help with this AoE damage, and yeah, they'll snag that up. So okay. I can understand the thought process behind that.
Yeah, this is definitely the safer way to build. Having a Lina core ensuring early items. The Doombringer, all he's got to do is just farm up on that safe lane. But you're going to need something like an Alpha Wolf into this lineup. Because without the Alpha Wolf, you just... like, the damage output, the physical damage, you're going to be relying on what? Chilling Touch? That comes with its negative side as well, with the slow attack. And that buys time for the regeneration to kick in.
Oh, we have some really great rune battling lineups here, Toby. I want to see a 5-on-5. I want to see everyone just going at it down at the rune. Let's get this fired off early. Like, let me get smoke, get in the jungle, let's get some early wards from the Clockwork.
I don't think Satu wants to do anything like that. The only thing which might happening along that line. Just the fact like Ice might move down, try and zone with the cogs, and that will allow for the battle to happen.
Oh, you've got the chilling touch. You got a Bane and a Lena. You got Lena with like that long-range sniper rifle arm of hers.
You got
she's
Doom
whipping
with
those things out.
You've got Doom with Devour. Unless he wants to go for an early point up in Signature.Trust, but he better get that bounty rune. Signature.Trust have, like, when you're going up against something like a paralyzing cast, you can talk about all the damage in the world from 1, 2, 3, but your ability to control doesn't exist in the early levels. At least not the levels you're going to need for a level 1 fight. So we start off instead with a movement up to block out the camps. 1, 2, 3 is making the aggressive move. They're running 5 players down to the bottom lane. Probably just to also ensure that Ice has a lot safe lane. Actually, they're going to smoke move.
What are these lanes?
So you run a... Wait, are they actually pulling what... You know, this makes me think of... wait, it wasn't Dara. Oh, God, what was the team? It wasn't Rock's Kiss either. I'm thinking of a CIS team that was never number 1. But had art style come into it.
I think there's a lot of teams like that. many teams meet that criteria.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I kinda... Sorry, let me just stoke the coals of that fire. Yeah.
We got the smoke, but
what they would do is run. Actually, no, maybe it was one of PGG's teams because he would do it all the time. Also, same situation. But they run a support Night Stalker on the top lane, and they get really aggressive. So you go into the void, instantly start the spin, and then the paralyzing cast control is more than enough to find a kill on whoever's on that top lane. And the Doombringer with no early armor is a pretty decent target. AABBAA was gonna blink himself away from Ling. Leveling up Blink this early on, just actually telegraphing that fact, it's going to make this lane a little bit easier as well for the Clockwork. And Ice did a pretty good block. Okay, he can't drag the creeps in. Yeah, I'm sorry, they're not going to come with you, man. But he at least isolates one of his creeps, so... Actually, no, the lane's still going to throw because he moved in. He couldn't get the creeps to enter. So the block kind of fails a little bit.
Yeah, he'll still get a little bit of a pushback here, and there was a Tango delivered out to my pro, so I was kind of wondering what he was going with there, but so he's got it now. He's got some regen. I wasn't sure if they're going to try and run him as like a core or something here, but he'll just kind of do this 4 roll. And Ice, he throws down the cogs, but a nice little blink to keep that harass up here.
This roaming Night Stalker? Yeah, that's not a thing. Well, it shouldn't be
this lane for Ice. Like yeah, like the Night Stalker exactly. Like it's kind of one of those rough situations where he has to try and find something to get done, but Ice has a full lane to himself, and I don't know. It's going to be hard for him to survive. He's going to burn through this regen very quickly.
As long as he's got that mango, he can't lose.
It's impossible.
Well, I should be more concerned about this top lane where PPX... Like, you're still trying to devour. He actually went for the mana burn creep. So taking it away from the Witch Doctor with the paralyzing cast, it's not going to bounce back up again, and Lekels does not commit the spin. So just tries to harass the Doombringer out of lane. He can still just rely on tangos, didn't pop the Scorched Earth. The mana burn's still fairly expensive, but by popping 2 of these, he makes sure that Lekels has to use a Mango if he's going to spin commit.
I think they should make the sacrifice on my pro and buy sentries, because if you can de-ward this pull camp, like even if, like you take a risk of course of missing the ward, but if you can get some pulls going off here, the Night Stalker gets some farm, he's able to just kind of sit down there and pull the waves, and Ice gets nothing. Like if you move him away from this tower, the Shadow Strikes combined with just the overall range from the Queen of Pain is going to completely zone him out. You just can't allow him to get this free farm. At least the DD room can actually really help with lane control when you're a support like this, because you can actually start mega denying your creeps too to bring it back further.
Yeah, but they're not doing it. And that's allowing Ice to get these free levels, and that means the level 6 timing of the Clockwork should still be pretty damn good, and they're going to use the Mango, but the Clockwork cogs actually so much better. And my pro can't walk forward into it. So the Clockwork might take the damage, but he burns off the last bit of mana that AABBAA has. And the Night Stalker has one void in him, and that is all. And he's starting to leech the experience of the Queen of Pain.
Yeah, that was a great cogs.
Stacks are being prepared for 1, 2, 3. There's a triple stack got ready for Yamate. So he can go up and claim that whenever he wants. The Doombringer, his CS is starting to come back up again, so he's got 10 CS now. He's still behind Lakel, so Lakel's getting a lot out of this top lane for Signature.Trust. And now they've in fact just left him by himself. But it's the kill potential that I feel so much more from 1, 2, 3. Like, passive farming and staying level is not really enough to do anything. Like, the Ancient Apparition still finding levels. He does his little pull across to the side. But Bane all he needs to do is get in range with his boots to get one Nightmare off, and then Yamate can kill off kill off Jab in the mid.
Yeah, it's going to have a lot to do with how this Night Stalker is able to play, and he's still level 2. He's just trying to get some stacks going for his Lina. Hopefully, in this first nighttime, he'll be able to get something done. He does have the Invis rune, but it's a Viper mid. Or, sorry, rather, it's a... well, it is a Viper, but in terms of, like, stacking up in terms of kills and everything like that, it is going to be rather difficult. We'll see if they can bring down Yamate. He is only at 700 HP.
But with bottle charges, he's got a little bit more life, and Ling's still in the
And a
neighborhood.
Bane.
That's not possible. They can't kill him. They don't have crippling fear from the Night Stalker. Nighttime or not.
Is he gonna leech? This is big if he leeches this stack though.
How long has he got on the Invis rune? A little bit longer. Yeah, but this is actually gonna be some really good levels for him. Unfortunately for him, Yamate can't clean through this fast enough, so his Invis is gonna wear out before Yamate actually gets. Okay, he gets one kill. Now MyPro is gonna arrive, and he starts trying. He's gonna try and steal some of the farm here from Yamate. But not possible, but he still does leech out some good levels, up to 3.5 now on the Night Stalker.
Yeah, that was actually great from him. So that helps him out a lot, especially because there's not really any pull option. There's no way you're gonna get a lot of aggression here onto this Doom, who's also still only like just hitting level 5, a little bit low. It seems that 1, 2, 3, or rather 3, 4, 3 has been leeching a little bit of the experience up here, trying to hide away from these aggressive supports here.
Well, he did something. Still surprised. Okay, he might have seen the Observer Ward around the corner, but hasn't gone for it yet. It's about to time out anyway. There's bottom lane where you're probably going to see the better initiation. As Clockwork doesn't have his level 6, the Nightmare, just as AABBAA was trying to blink himself away. And that'll be first blood spilt. Really great rotation from Lina as well as the Bane. Both went missing from mid. Yeah, Queen of Pain is still out past her own tier 1 tower.
And this is one of the things that, of course, happens when you run the Viper. Like, he's just not one of those heroes that can rotate in and make any sort of an assistance. He just has to sit mid, get that mechanism going, and look to group up with your team then. But in terms of any sort of a counter gank, you can't really expect that to come out as a save there. And it looks like they're going to try some group up right now.
Oh, this is again Viper. You should see this one coming. Yamate, he does have this Laguna Blade available. A Night Stalker, cold feed on him. There's Laguna Blade to ensure the kill. A huge Sonic Wave and a Hulk shot up from Ice. He'll actually strand two of them together as the Viper actually kills a Felina just on the back of Corrosive Skin. Queen of Pain will be able to pick up the double kill here as 1, 2, 3, lose 3 in the middle lane. And all Trust had to lose was a Night Stalker for it. But that Sonic Wave was perfect from the Queen of Pain.
Yeah, great rotation in, and man, Corrosive Skin. That LSA did nothing. I mean, I know it's level 1, but you're throwing out these Dragon Slaves and everything
he
too.
He threw it onto the Night Stalker. That was the way they killed the Night Stalker. Yamate used the oh, sorry, no, you're right. LSA.
Yeah.
I'm like Laguna Blade. Ah.
No, there's an Ice Blast, but rather Ice Blast. Rocket Flare. I see red dot. I assume Ice Blast. A little early for that. Alright, well, now, nice little triple kill, or rather double, but involved for the 3 of them, so gets up some treads down bottom, and I wonder, it's certainly okay to be an Orchid game, but generally, when we're not seeing it run in the mid lane, it tends to be something like the Aghanims first, which is certainly great this game, or possibly even the Yules, if you want to look out for the counter Yules to Yamate, like you don't want to get caught, because you certainly don't have time to blink out as a Queen of Pain, but you would have time to Orchid if you can get it early enough.
Doom, is he going to use the Mango? You're looking at PPX making that decision in his mind, because he can Mango and Doom straight away onto Lakel's. 3-4-3 can bring in some extra damage with the Witch Doctor behind him. Yep, there we go. Mango, Doom, and then with a Chilling Touch, Lakel's is going to drop low, but PPX has to keep up with this, or else Lakel's just gets denied. So he tags him once, will bring him down, but this means Doom bring a TP out in time. Does he have enough regeneration? The Malediction is popping, but he is going to survive inside his own well.
Alright, well, that's nice. Start shutting down Lakel's. He has been getting a ton up there in terms of, you know, it is an off-lane juggernaut, so 36 CS. So good to finally shut him down a little bit.
But now they just switched the lane. Like, Jab TP'd himself up here to try and stop the fight from happening, or at least get a revenge kill. And there's nothing that 1-2-3 can do about him on that top lane. They need to have both Yamater as well as Ling there, but Yamater's being watched. This is actually one of those painful things where Ling, like, he tried to D-ward inside the Dire jungle, throwing down that sentry, but he walked past this observer ward previously with sentries in hand and decided not to do it. So Yamater, it's very obvious he's there, but MyPro still dies to him. Paralyzing Cast's going to bounce back down again. Yamater to the tree line, can't make it in time. Now Ling with a brain sap going over there onto Fei Mao. Nightmare will keep the Queen of Pain out of the fight, but Ice, the Malediction should be killing him off. He sits in the tree line with a blink stream. Just ensures the kill in case Malediction wasn't going to do the job. So 2 heroes lost for 1-2-3, and Trust, they're looking pretty damn good.
Yeah, nice positioning on that blink. It's actually just on the tip of the range of the Scream of Pain, so just guaranteeing they're going to grab that kill. And again, just great rotation here. 3-1-2 for the Queen of Pain. She's up to 1,200 gold just after picking up those treads. So they can look to kind of pair up with the Viper. He's heading towards, well, he hasn't committed to the mechanism yet. One can only assume that's what he'll get, but, you know, we've seen plenty of S and Ys, but I think with, you know, the whole strategy they're going for here, it seems unlikely to be anything other than the mechanism.
See, that's where I would also wonder too, like, with the push strategy, I can understand it. If you're trying to force a big team fight, I can understand the mech too. But up against Nature and Apparition, maybe it's better just to go for more, like, utility on the Viper. Not utility, more strength and attack. Go for something like the early S and Y build onto the Viper. What's he purchased? It's actually a club. It's an Ogre club.
So now I wonder if Lakel's is going to go Battle Fury because of this. It just seems a little bit odd that, like, I was imagining like an S and Y and Lakel's, but it probably is just because of the.
I'm thinking drums Lakel's, and then you just have the S and Y over on the Viper. You can still go into the S and Y on Lakel's as well, but just be combat heavy. You've now got Death Ward available. The Queen of Pain is going in for the Orchid. You just keep fighting. Get aggressive wards up and just keep fighting into 1-2-3. Don't give them the space to get an advantage. Which they're going to try and get now. MyPro really caught out here. That Ice Blast will ensure the kill. Ice just TPing out straight away. There's just no risk from him.
He's tanking these ganks though.
Top
you know, he gets hook shots, all the night side, and meanwhile they're up top getting it. Space created. I mean, certainly an okay pickup there for 1-2-3, but they're still getting some map presence here from Signature.Trust. And I'm sure they'll probably just look to rotate either to the mid lane or bottom, really. There's just not that much from the Doom. Like, he's sitting on a Vlad's, but of course, if you're not right-clicking, it's not really doing too much. And they have plenty of control right now from Signature.Trust, just from the Viper, as well as the Shadow Strike, and you still have the Death Ward that hasn't been whipped out yet.
He needs to get the Alpha Wolf. He doesn't know, though. He devours over in a Wild Wing. There is no reason to hold on to this Mana Bird. Now he'll see the Alpha Wolf as he walks past it. Is this a smoke move? Yeah, it is. 1-2-3 coming down with Ling as well as Yamater. But the pings are coming out perfectly. Did they smoke underneath that Ready Knobs? Judging by the time of the smoke, judging by the time of the smoke, they could have been further back.
Radiant's middle tower is under
If they got no time left on this smoke. So the Dire Observer Ward sees MyPro around the corner. So once again, okay. Fiend's Group as well as Laguna Blade being committed. That's
just tanking ganks, man. It's tactical.
It really is overkill. It really is overkill. Like, it's the second nighttime phase. Yeah, you might be worried the Night Stalker will get aggressive. But while you're doing this, you're putting two major abilities. Okay, maybe not Laguna Blade. His cooldown's pretty damn low. But it's still two fairly big abilities on cooldown, giving more confidence for someone like Lakel's. just to do his own thing. Blink into middle lane, Yamate. Sonic Waves are vulnerable, need a little bit more chip damage in, and now the Yule Scepter up will protect him. Hook shot actually missing. Actually, sorry, I take it back. It hits the Queen of Pain, but he'll get the Sonic Wave off, combining with the Death Wall. The Ice Blast hitting on 3. That's huge from 3-4-3. They'll lose the Queen of Pain as well. Yamate basically going into the tree line. He's looking for the Lion Strike array, but he keeps killing himself with the back of the corrosive skin of Jab. He'll finally get the kill with that slave. But Ancient Apparition with a huge ultimate. With no reply from Trust, they grouped up perfectly for that.
Might have just saved the game, honestly. Like that was like another disaster. Probably would have been no one dead on the side of Signature.Trust if that hadn't come in. And from there, you're just snowballing so hard. Like you're probably going to lose the mid tower. That was just absolutely massive. And he's almost towards a minus now.
If he gets that and is able to get into the Aghanim Scepter, then Signature.Trust has some real issues. Because then you've got a support with a crap ton of farm. You've got a Clockwork who it's not a oh my wow crazy start because he's still got the 3 deaths to his name, but it's still a level 9 Clockwork with some decently tanky items. Yamate is dead. He's gonna Yule Scepter over on the Night Stalker with the Paralyzing Cask and Malediction. Pretty much ensures it. Yamate is trying to bait them back into the Ice Blast. Clockwork has Hookshot, but it'll be suicide to go in. In fact, it was actually, he didn't even, he had TP, he TP'd down the bottom lane, it's just a rocket that came in.
And now here comes that push, so only delayed for a moment.
Straight to the tier 1. And there's little that 1-2-3 can do about this. Their wave clear isn't great. Like, Ice Blast will slow it down, Rocket will slow it down. Lena's probably got the best clear of them all. Right now, bottom lane though, Queen of Pain. The Battery Assault, they have enough direct damage to kill her off in time. So you trade a Queen of Pain for your tier 1 tower and mid with the Lena as well.
Yeah, and now we're looking towards this Blade Mail on Ice. So he is pretty far behind, being a Clockery at 15 minutes. You know, well behind, like the Doom obviously in the safe lane, but his counterpart would be the Queen of Pain, and obviously she's kind of crushing him right now. But that's to be expected, and Clockwork, of course, someone who can do pretty well with no items and good experience, but you really want to get this Blade Mail. You want to start disrupting these team fights and giving some positioning towards people like Ling and towards Yamata as well. Like, you need these spells to come out if you're going to have any hope of shutting down this lineup from the side of Signature.Trust. They're just so tanky that you need everything stacked perfectly.
We'll start stacking away, man. 1-2-3, back to the farm game. Getting those big items up. The Blade Mail will be a beautiful thing, but Signature.Trust won't wait until it's done. They already bring MyPro down the bottom lane. Now, he's only got 5 seconds before we hit daytime again. So if he's going to commit to this bottom lane, he'll have to trigger Darkness. He loses all of his major buffs. You get a haste-ruined Queen of Pain coming to bottom lane. 1-2-3 are fine with this. Like, they're actually giving space to Ancient Apparition to finally finish up his Midas. And he'll throw the Ice Blast out to slow this push. Turn that healing off in just a moment.
And again, it'll connect, but with no follow-up, they can just immediately drop the Healing Ward, drop the Voodoo Restoration. It doesn't last very long this early on in the game, as you can see. And they're just right back at it.
Yep.
And now if you want to defend this, like, you just simply can't, I don't think, because you're not, I mean, you have an Invis room. Oh,
they're coming.
Smoke, actually.
The Tombbringer's ready behind the lines. The tier 1 tower is already going to drop.
5 seconds for Ice Blast.
They're going to glimmer the Doom in. The Bane Smoke's already broken. He dooms over on Lakel, so there's no real juggernaut for this fight. And with the Clockwork Cogs, they isolate the Viper. Wish Doctor's already down for the count. And now Viper is in fact dead. MyPro triggering Darkness. So he's able to run himself away to safety, but defensive first Darkness being triggered. 1-2-3 already got what they came for. 2 quick kills and a successful rotation.
And there is an Invis rune here, but it's about to be running out here. A little bit unfortunate. It would be nice for this defense, but it looks like they're just going to back. Don't want to risk it in the nighttime, having popped the ultimate. Of course, their vision now lacking, but great play by Ice. I mean, showing why the Clockwork's so valuable, being to isolate out the Viper and relying on his teammates, obviously, to come in and do the damage, because he certainly won't be able to finish him on his own. But he's getting close to that Blade Mail now.
It's like Signature.Trust are pinging out Roshan. They're worried that 1, 2, 3. Oh, really? Really? Yeah, no, boys.
Radiant's middle tower.
Man,
is under
that's
attack.
YOLO if I've ever seen YOLO.
That's like, I know they're there. I know. I have conviction that they are inside of Roshan, but no. They don't have the damage output. Like with the violence from Doom, I can understand, but you'll need a medallion on somebody to really make that work. And even then, it would still take too long for 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, that was pretty wishful. But it looks like that Orchid is just about done. Shortly will be finished up here.
Ling. They glimmer him in so he can go directly for the Fiend Script. This will allow
nice.
Yamata to just pump out the damage, get a quick pick off, and yeah, the posturing. The Ice Blast was coming in. He didn't even have his Light Striker raid ready, but forces the TP cancel. AABBAA is going to move to the front lines, but Doom is here with his Doom available as well. So if Trust want to fight into this one, yeah, they're not up against Fiend Script as well as Laguna Blade, but you got no Juggernaut, and Doom will be able to control, basically delete one hero from the fight.
I'm consistently impressed with how much damage they are able to get out here. It just seems like, I mean, you look at this lineup, it's so scary, it's so tanky, but of course when they're not together like that, 1, 2, 3, making the right plays, making the right rotations. And I'm not sure, because now I feel like there's a burden on Signature.Trust. Like, you've got this lineup, you need to get together, you've committed to an SNY on your Viper, you've got this drums going on your on your Juggernaut, now he's going for SNY too, so they want to fight, they want to get in there, but you can't allow the same thing to happen. So I don't know, are they going to smoke up? They've got one here, but it looks a little obvious. Like, they just spotted 5 heroes under the tower, they know the smoke went off, there's just no way. Like, they were all there punching creeps with a smoke in the Witch Doctor's inventory.
Then you ask the question, is like, how does 1, 2, 3 deal with this? Do you back it up?
Yeah.
Or do you... Okay, so they pop it again. They think 1, 2, 3 are doing Roshan. But they're not there. The Observer Wall is down, so they see the Doombringer. He won't be able to tank through this. Death Ward, Malediction, they Glimmer Cape him up and almost got the Doombringer out. Ancient Apparitions TP, it'll be successful. Jab couldn't attack it in time. So Doom is down, and now Signature.Trust could have potentially gone for Roshan. They have the Healing Ward available and a double damage rune on the Viper. But they decide to back out. Obviously, when you get a clock on the field, you're never going to feel too comfortable.
Yeah, Clock and the Ice Blast, plus the spells from Yamato can just come out so far. Like, one Dragon Slave through the pit combined with an Ice Blast, and you're in a lot of trouble this early on. And he's actually almost finished up the Aghanim Scepter. 21 minutes in, top of the net worth chart. Ready to start blowing up some of these Signature.Trust heroes.
That's the dream
And
for
it looks like
Yamata.
it'll be it's going to be a Midas for MyPro, too. Greed is good.
Well, they both kind of play the same role. They both have to rush up into an Aghanim Scepter. One gives complete control over regeneration in a fight. The other one gives complete control over vision in a fight. But MyPro's just so far behind. 5 deaths to his name. He's the second lowest net worth on the field. It's Fiend Script on Viper. The Ice Blast on the way in with Laguna Blade and Hookshot. You got all the control in the world, and then a follow-up Nightmare. MyPro just walks into it, and this will now be his 6th death on the field. Yamata has enough for the Light Strike Array, and with a Fiery Soul up at 4, he's got all the damage in the world as well to inflict into that Viper. The Clockwork will find the kill, but this will complete Yamata, his Aghanim Scepter, and gives Ice even more money. And he's actually going to go for his own Ags too.
Yeah, Jab's pinging out. He's saying there's a ward here somewhere, like a cop by a ward, and trying to ping it out, but they're just missing it with these sentries. You can see it right up there on the high ground. So, good vision advantage here. The side of 1, 2, 3, something that, of course, is always difficult to achieve up against the Night Stalker, but generally they have pretty good wards covering themselves during the Roshan. And it'll take them a while, but it appears to be a safe while.
Once Lena's arrived, they'll have enough damage. Seem to spam a few abilities to make it work, though. And there you go. You give her a pack walk for her, and she's already dealing like just shy of 200 damage. And then you buff that up with Fiery Soul. It's just too good. So the Aegis Immortal goes to Yamata. He'll drop his Null Talisman for that. Looks like he'll get Doombringer to carry it for him.
Radiant's bottom tower is
Which means
under
they're looking to
attack.
fight. Like, you just throw it on the courier if you weren't looking to fight. And the Viper might be the target.
Bottom. Yeah. We've already seen him get all the ulties dumped on him once, so I'm sure they're not afraid to do it again. He's just so important in their team fight.
He's just on the edge of the Ice Blast. The Cogs actually pulled him down into it. And the secondary TP will be cancelled. Again, a little too late there from Trust with the support. Don't read the play coming from 1, 2, 3. You'd expect, though, like, when someone grabs an Aegis the Immortal, they're instantly going to push for a tower. Or some kind of major objective.
Yeah, and, like, he's actually just so important. And the way that some people might think it's almost a mistake, like you're blowing Hook, everything, Laguna Blade, just bring down this Viper, but without him, there's not really stuns beside the cask, and the Viper actually adds a surprising amount of control to your team. I mean, he's throwing out the poison, he's slowing down all these heroes, so someone like your Night Stalker and your Juggernaut can go to work, grouping them together with the Omni Slash and not allowing them to split apart. And without him, we've seen it. It just doesn't seem like there's much they can actually do up against the squad of 1, 2, 3.
It's just kind of funny too, like, you talk about this where there's not that many stuns available. And I'm looking at Doombringer, and he just bought a BKB. So he'll avoid the paralyzing cask and the control of Night Stalker. But the Queen of Pain's still doing pure damage. The Death Ward still does physical damage. Juggernaut still does physical damage with his ulti.
Yeah, I think he's frustrated because he got orchided up and blown up that last time by the Secret Shop, and he's just like, nope, not again. I'm not getting orchided. I will get off my Doom. I will be my hero. I'm going to roleplay Doom the way he's meant to be. And I'll always get my Dooms off. But it is odd, you're right. Much more normal to just go for something like the Shiva's Guard or something like that, just to tank up and make sure that you'll survive. And, that way you're still tanking up a lot of those disables.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
And that would have been my line of thought. Link's now picked himself up a Blink Dagger on the back of a Glimmer Cape. We're 25 minutes in. The Bane's got Arcane's Glimmer and a Blink. Bottom lane, they're actually going to fight. Again, the Viper. He baited out, starting up the Doom, but Yamate with the Light Strike Array and Laguna Blade is a pretty easy kill over on that Viper. And the committal is so short.
And now that's level 16 for Yamate. And, like, you're already got the Aghanim Scepter, so goodbye Corrosive Skin. You no longer have any of assistance in this game in terms of these Laguna Blades, so they're driving the Radiant out of their own side of the map. Like, they've completely taken over the jungle, they've taken over the mid lane. They're just wandering up top here by Lakel's.
I like how Yamate's next major item is like, we're not looking at disable, we're not looking at any kind of like mana buff ups, he just goes directly for BTs on top of his already established phase boots. I understand this game could be turned into a split push game by Signature.Trust, and by doing this, they're just stopping that from happening.
Yeah, it just means that anytime he sees Lakel's as well, you can have one person sneaking up in the fog, and then the second they're in position, like the Bane for the Fiend's Grip, you just get the TP in onto the lane. He could even honestly look towards something like a Blink Dagger next if he really wanted to. In terms of defensive abilities, there's really just this BKB coming out for AAB.
A Blink's not a bad choice when you consider like the nerfing as well, the Yule Scepter. That range is not as good as it used to be. That's all about maneuverability.
I was actually opting towards, looks like it might be a Bloodstone.
I could get that. That'll be fine.
Yeah, actually, especially with the Boots of Travel, that's a nice little combination with the shorter respawn timer too. Like, you die, heal up your team, and then you're right back in for the actual siege of the tower if you manage to go down first.
Because I guess there are an advantage as well. Maybe there is an advantage to Octarine. You are taking a lot of chip damage from that Viper, so it'll be nice to get something back.
Yeah, both are certainly viable. We just haven't seen, we haven't actually seen that much experimentation with it, so we'll see what he wants to do with the Soul Booster. I think either one is certainly good. I think the Bloodstone is more like proven to work in a sense, but
yeah, but it did get nerfed up a little bit too. But not too much, and it is the normal build for the Lina. Like, if it was Miracle, I'd be saying, hey, it's definitely Octarine, but it's Yamate. He's a little bit more old school.
Well, there goes the Aegis. So, not too much loss. They weren't able to force anything too crazy. Of course, only one tier 2 now remaining besides Signature.Trust. They're in the hole, about 10,000 at this point. Not where you want to be, but it feels like they're farming back up. If you look at the net worth chart, they do own 3 of the top 5, and they're pretty close. They're closing in on that Doom and the Lina. They just need to get a good team fight using this night vision. They need to pick off a core hero. They need Yamate before he actually throws anything out. And that can really turn this whole game around. If you can just start to shut down someone who's not going for this BKB, like if you can get the Orchid on top of them.
Signature.Trust, it's smoke time. And the illusions move forward.
Oh, come on. Come on. That's unacceptable. Can't do that. He was in the middle of you and you're all still smoked. There's no excuse to that. I'm sorry. That's not okay. That's yeah. It's awful. It's so awful.
That was an Omni Slash as well. Hey.
Yeah. That's just not okay.
Okay. Yep. Okay. Move on and think about something else, but Signature.Trust definitely,
I mean, you need some serious mental fortitude at this point now if you're Signature.Trust. Like, I would just be flaming if I'm on that team right now. And I'm sure even the guy who did it is flaming himself in his head, like, oh my god, like, obviously he knows better than that.
Like,
but there's some sort of a tilt factor going on right now.
Like, we're talking about Lakel's. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but he's attended 3 out of 5 TIs. My pro,
Yes.
that Ice Blast, the initiation was a little bit too early there from Yamate. Yeah, but Lakel's attended, like, he was at TI 1, 2, and 3. I don't believe he attended 4 or 5.
I know he was at least 3. Well, I know 2 for sure, but likely 3.
He was definitely at 1 and 2. He was definitely at 1 and 2. 3-4-3. Finally now, ABAA can get some revenge. 608 gold for an 8A kill. Not bad.
That's not often you're going to see that. So farmed.
The funny thing is, though, he is the second lowest net worth for 1, 2, 3. And you still get that much money. It shows you the state of the game right now. But the Ancient Apparition spent all of his money before death anyway. So he's got the Oak Club on the Courier and needs 800 gold until the Aghanims is done.
Yeah, and like you see, like the rating cores, they are climbing. They were catching up. That has been stifled a little bit in the past 3 or 4 minutes. But then right below them is just the next 3 heroes from 1, 2, 3. They are so much more farmed than these guys on the Radiant. And of course, that is because there's some sacrifice from Femao here on the Witch Doctor. You know, he's buying the wards. He's just looking. There's no Aghanims this game. He's just going to be the ward and the smokes.
That's all he really can do. 1, 2, 3 about to scout out the fact that Roshan's alive. Ice. Just have a poke in there and he'll see it. I'm wondering if they feel confident enough to go for Roshan even before they find a kill over on Trust.
Well, I actually just noticed that my pro actually gave up on the Midas.
Wait, really?
He actually sold the glove.
I need to go directly into the Ags. Okay, so they see Roshan's up, and 1, 2, 3, I get my answer. Incoming! Yamate sticking around to farm for a little bit. Are they... Okay, well it looked like they were just going to make their play, but Yamate wanted to farm up a set of Mud Golems first. It gives him the 2,700 gold, and that's now the Mystic Staff. So you get a Shiva's Guard completed. And there it is, the Octarine Core for Yamate. It's at this point I'm hoping the Twitch chat was flaming the living crap out of me when I said Octarine Core. Just so that can happen. So Aegis the Immortal as well on the back of an Octarine. The Ags for the Clockwork, never-ending jumps. Ling's got a Gem of True Sight too, so Signature.Trust keeping Observer Wards on the field is going to be very, very difficult. And Lakel's actually using his spin already. TP supports on the way in, 3-4-3, the one charges. It's not going to keep him alive long enough. The Queen of Pain used her BKB, and Clockwork, just go for it, and he went for it! He got the hook shot, cancelling the TP out of Queen of Pain. They'll follow up with a Fiend's Grip, so the Queen of Pain will be the trade-off for the Ancient Apparition. And Doom is about to find himself free gold. Level Death, he could commit the ulti as well if he wants to, Wish Doctor's got no stun available. Yamate, one Laguna Blade would be enough, but with the Kells coming in too, they trigger off the Death Ward, and there goes your Doom. The Witch Doctor will end up dying. The Aegis Immortal is expended for the Lena, but with a hook shot down from Ice, he comes to join the fight. And the Viper goes down, the wards will get mopped up, and 3 heroes are lost for no trade-off from 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, they're just being completely hemmed in here. Like, you lost your Queen of Pain while she's out split pushing about, and now you've got this gem on the side of 1, 2, 3 for Ling. He'll go around, start getting rid of these wards. We've already seen him knock a few down. And then the vision game. It's on your side when you're Night Stalker at the beginning, but there's not much you can do in this point. And it will looks like he will get a solo kill up here on 1, 2, or
they're gonna go.
3, 4.
My pro's in the Ice Blast. He moves forward. No! The Nightmare will come. They'll take it off. The hookshot comes forward from Ice, canceling the TP from the fountain that was. I think 1, 2, 3 have actually, like, they've kind of won this game off these continuous picks. Paralyzing Cask will bounce around, but Yamate, he's got Laguna Blade off cooldown in 21 seconds. If they can just find any kind of turn, if Trust chased that, then 1, 2, 3 would have found another kill and probably just rotated down to the bottom lane. And with the Observer Ward, they can see everything happening inside Trust base. They looked for it. They've thrown down 1 sentry, but they haven't thrown it on the other side.
Yeah, and just so much pressure exerted for 1, 2, 3 this game. The way they're keeping these lanes pushed, and the way they respond when they see someone trying to get too close to that tower. I mean, they were just getting a little bit close to that tower, and then Yamate will go up there, he'll rotate in.
Here it comes. Hookshot's off target for the Ice Blast. That's with the Ags upgrade as well. The Shiva's gun will pump so Viper. He can't run away from this one. Doombringer will swing him down once more as the Witch Doctor with a BKB on that Doom. They just can't run from it. They've lost 2 heroes, and I think it's the mid-push time to finish the job what they started previously. The crew wave's a little bit too far away, but you're seeing already the line being drawn. They don't care about the range ranks in mid. They want the bottom lane. And with Yamate having a DD rune, it's a shame for him it's going to run out. But he's already at 20k net worth 35 minutes in. And they fight the backdoor regen.
Yeah, just look at that, man. 20.7 with that Octarine on him. All kinds of mana here for Yamate.
Too easy. It really is too easy. Spamming out his ability so we can keep the Fiery Soul up. The hookshot again from Ice. My pro. This has now been the 8th time he got caught out of position.
I mean, they don't have to kill him. They just leave him. They don't care. Like, just take the buildings, win the game.
Well, Doom on the
way they're playing this.
Maybe PPX committing a little bit too deep. He's dead. He had Orchid, he had Malediction. But 1, 2, 3, they take out both the mid and the bottom racks, the whole racks too. And 3, 4, 3 TP's out just in the nick of time. Yamate is still visible because it is nighttime. And there is that Aghanims over on the Night Stalker. It is forced nighttime through the darkness. Ice, yeah, there's always going to be a creep camp there, especially when you're 36 minutes in. It just spawned. And now he's got a cog to try and buy himself some space. Omni Slash is available from Lakel's, and he'll actually just spin himself through the clockwork. So 1, 2, 3 losing a little bit more than they had to, but they still claim what they came for. 2 lanes of racks, and now 6k gold for Lena to spend.
So many options. Another one of those heroes, similar to Juggernaut, where you can really build whatever you want. I mean, you could go like a Deso here, probably just a BKB. Just close it out.
BKB would be too
all
bad.
kinds of options.
You know what I'd actually like to see him do? If I can go 2 for 2. I'd love to say I was thinking Blink Dagger, but I'll be honest, I was actually thinking Assault Cuirass.
Oh yeah, I like the even the refresher or something with the Octarine core, just because it lowers the cooldown so much.
Oh,
Double Laguna.
That's just disgusting. That is just if you refresher on a Laguna, which is already at like 37.5 seconds cooldown, like come on.
It's like 3 Lagunas.
Pretty much.
There's not much hope here for Signature.Trust. I'm not really sure what kind of a play they can make here. Comeback mechanics, like they have a BKB on the Queen of Pain. She's looking towards an Assault Cuirass. She's got the Sonic Wave, but no Aghanims, so 555 pure damage. Not going to be available. Just the 470.
Maybe if Lakel's does finish up this Skadi of his, that'll be an option, but he's still short by about 200 gold. They're going to 5-man group up and then smoke move. Where do they find a hero? Ice is pretty close, so they already break the smoke. Blink forward, BKB from the Doom. He'll just walk himself out. You might have the Omni Slash, actually. PPX takes the entire Omni Slash, and they kill up the Clockwork. Yamate will get a little bit of a revenge pick off, but Ling, he's in trouble. With that Gem Aghanim Scepter over on this Night Stalker, they just don't have the vision advantage here. 1, 2, 3, and they're starting to feed heroes over to Signature.Trust. A double kill coming the way of the Night Stalker. The Clockwork, after this buyback, he might actually find himself going down again. It's a dieback for the Clockwork. They just fed the Gem over. They just fed 5 heroes, and all that was lost was Yamate killing a Witch Doctor. They have to return, however, because the mid and the bottom lanes are causing too many problems. But that's so much money coming the way of Trust at the end of that fight.
All right, well, I'm a believer now. In terms of actually being able to win a fight, that was pretty impressive. Getting that full slash on the Doom, not getting it off. I mean, you got to give him credit for that. That blink out by Lakel's, he got the hook shot was onto the spin, of course, so the damage doesn't go through. And then he popped down the cogs without right-clicking, so probably just didn't even notice there was a blink on Lakel's, possibly. Or wasn't really considering it, so he just kind of jumped out of the cogs, and then it was just his own little death pin for the Clockwork.
In just that fight, everything that came after it, it repaired basically 10,000 worth of experience. The gold was also very similar to the same swing. So the Assault Cuirass gets... Oh, wait, is Queen of Pain... She's dead. She's actually dead. She got hit by the Ice Blast on the way back when she was low on life. That's a only a level 2 Ice Blast, but with the Aghanim's upgrade, it's enough. That's a cheap way to lose a core.
Yamato's actually hunting down bottom. He's checking the trails. Now he's just throwing out his LSAs to keep his movement speed up. Wants to get some sort of a gank here. Probably keeping that max movement speed.
What's he prepping for?
I think he was hoping that MyPro would push out of it further so he could blink in. Like, he's got unlimited mana anyway, so he can just keep his max stacks going all the time.
Just cuts himself a little path behind the trees. Blink,
nice sight.
Hex. He'll be able to follow with the Light Strike Array. Laguna Blade's available too. The damage, he can't stick around long enough for it. And the Ice Blast was already used. And you're seeing Feimal. He's sticking with MyPro just in case. But he'll get enough life back.
That was good discipline. By Yamate. Just to say, you know what, I'm already ahead. Like, there's no reason for me to die to 4 heroes. I'm going to give them a massive bounty if I do. So, good option there. Not just going to sacrifice your life for the kill on MyPro. It's not worth it. It's not worth the risk at all.
Invisibility.
That's how they just have to wait for Roshan. He's up in like 15 seconds. So the chance is available for 1, 2, 3 to get a little bit more insurance to just finish up the last racks. To get Megas. Signature.Trust counter push is arse. Because there's no Battle Fury on the Juggernaut. So how do you even stop this push from 1, 2, 3 once you get Megas? That's why Signature.Trust, they come out.
They must know there's... Maybe not.
They haven't triggered... Now they trigger Darkness. Now they see it. So the Doombringer will die. He'll get the Shiva's Guard off. Death Ward committed. Wow, they really wanted that kill before 1, 2, 3 can reply. But the Tier 4 towns are under attack. The Dire Courier scattered out Roshan for 1, 2, 3. And Trust just have to assume that Roshan is alive. So they run the Juggernaut, they run the Night Stalker over. As Yamate starts. Ling will join him inside the pit, and MyPro sees everything that's going on. That Doom still got buyback though. Like, he can buy back. He can't TP to the Tier 2 tower in bottom lane. Unless he drops drums. Which could still be worth it. Wait, are Trust really gonna...
I don't know.
You got a Clockwork and an AA. This should not be able to go down. Here comes the rocket. The Ice Blast is short! It doesn't matter anyway. They wouldn't have taken enough damage to stop this, but the Queen of Pain will now grab the Aegis of the Immortal. And Signature.Trust, 1, 2, 3. I don't know if these guys just own like a collection of silver platters, but they're putting a lot on it for Trust. Yamate's now going to make his play. You'll step her in, MyPro. Well, Signature.Trust, it's like tradition. He has to die at the start of a fight for something to turn around. The Nightmare,
nice
protecting Yamate. You've still got that ability, the Fiend's Grip. It goes up from Ling. The BKB is up. Ice actually accidentally hookshotted himself down into the Bane anyway. But BKB's galore being triggered. The Doombringer won't be able to escape from this one. He's down for the count. No buyback for the Lina and no buyback for the Doom. Are we really getting back into a position again like game number 2 of our last series? Whereas pop, like your 2 racks is down, the same lanes as well. The Signature.Trust keep getting opportunities to fight back. Now the top lane. Lekels jumps forward. He's got the cheese, looking for the crits. The cold feet will it latch? He just decides to spin, meaning he can't find the crit damage anymore. And the Ancient Apparition will TP out safely. Barely.
Again, it's the same situation, though, where there's just no wave clear. Like, is there any potential in the next, 15, 20 minutes the Signature.Trust can actually push into one of these towers? Against the wave clear that you're seeing, like, just even...
If Juggernaut actually... Like, if Juggernaut sells his drums, he can buy a Battle Fury.
Yeah, that's the only way.
And that might be the only way. Your other option...
We've actually seen... I was just about to say it! We've actually seen so many Mjolnir Vipers lately for this exact reason. But there's the Maelstrom to start it off.
It's actually not a bad combo when you think about it. Like, when you finish at the full Mjolnir, and then he's got his skin as well as the lightning shield. Like, you just don't want to attack into that. The damage which is pumped back out is actually quite high. My pro, please.
Alright, well...
Please find some more life, my pro. I almost want to see something...
Ancients.
Wait, are they... Yep. AABBAA's found the kill. I told you, man. Yep. She's like a hit and run. It's Thug Queen.
Thug Queen. Well, he's almost got a Lotus Orb, so that's kind of fun. You know, maybe we'll get the Omni Slash bounce back. It's always pretty comical.
Okay, so my pro is building into a Lotus Orb. That gives him regeneration as well as armor. What it doesn't allow him to do is have life to survive Laguna Blade as well as the Ice Blast. I was actually hoping he would have something which would, like, not null the effects, but at least reduce the effects of the Ice Blast by picking up something like a pipe for his team. I don't know if it's a little bit too late for that, though.
Yeah, he was in a tough spot in terms of items to go. Like, the Lotus Orb, I think it's definitely best up against the Doom. It's always going to be valuable in that situation, so it's okay. But up against like the Laguna Blade and everything like that, she's just so tanky now that she's just going to brush it off. Like, her dealing the damage to you is going to heal up a quarter of it anyway when you fire it right back at her. So he's just still 1700 HP. I can understand maybe thinking like, oh, I got to go BKB, but then you're like, this game, if you're going to win this game, we're going another 30 minutes. So by then your BKB, like over time, it just gets worse and worse. So I really like the Lotus Orb. It's not going to fall off. It's always good against Doom.
Yep.
But I think BKB next might be the best option here.
Look how defensive they could be as a second. Lekels is walking out into the jungle. Our own jungle, our second camp near the mid lane. Lotus Orb him straight away. Protect the carry at all costs. Okay. So, Lekel's getting bigger. He's going Abyssal Blade build. Looking for the direct lockdown. Screw wave clear. he's gonna let Jab do that. But they're definitely coming in for the tier 2 tower now.
Dire's middle tower.
And nothing's really gonna stop this from 1, 2, 3. They don't want to fight, like not for a tier 2 tower. The problem is actually this Night Stalker. He just sees their initiation. The only thing which can really reach it is the clockwork, but then you're going to need to have, like... Well, I say, then you got to have Blink Daggers on everybody else, or an ability to get in close. That's, like, everyone's basically got Blink Daggers. You got Blink Daggers on Yamata, PPX, as well as Ling. Ancient Apparition throws his Ice Blast from range, and Ice just hook shots in. So they got ways to fight, but they just need the vision before the Night Stalker, to see the Night Stalker first.
Alright, is this it?
They have no vision. They can't see anything. That's Nagadim's Gem Night Stalker.
Yeah, they're just huddled around this ward, hoping to spot something.
If they throw a rocket, then they already reveal their position. That's the problem. In fact, now the rocket comes out, and it's very obvious they're over in the jungle. Even more obvious now they're walking underneath the Radiant Observer Ward. So the only Observer Ward up is now about to go down. Both teams have no vision on the map, apart from the creep waves. That's all. And now the Aegis gets reclaimed, so there's no longer that second life for AABBAA.
Yeah, and I wasn't really considering him when it came to the split push, but it's always true. You get a ton of split push out of your Queen of Pain, so he will opt for the Scythe of Ice. So a bit of a mixed build here. AC, Scythe of Ice, Orchid. They all do stack pretty well, even if you don't go the direct damage of like an MKB, of course. You still get quite a bit. Just based on the
It's the concept
bonus.
of win team fight. We can do this with an armor advantage and the Scythe of Ice and BKB and Orchid. And then push. Use abilities to clean the creep wave, and the Assault Cuirass will help them once they reach the buildings. That's the goal. But 1, 2, 3, like this tier 4 tower is almost dead. Like, if they win even one fight cleanly, Trust have lost this game. It's just that simple. Trust need to
They have
win.
been playing really tight though.
How long can they keep it up? Like, we've already seen some interesting choices throughout this series. And there's more and more money coming the way of 1, 2, 3. Look at Yamate, he's sitting on 3.8k. He'll probably buy his second level BTs in a moment. Because there's no point giving up his Blink Dagger. He's sitting exactly where he wants to be.
Even Moonshare, it's not too bad this game when you're dealing with like Doom Aura and everything.
See,
But I like the
how
boot-
much
the
damage
boots
do
for
you
sure.
get? Like when you have Moonshot as well as your Fiery Soul up, like the DPS, the damage per second, that has to kick up pretty high.
Oh, I'm sure you'd probably get down to, you'd be really close. He's already at 0.38 in terms of attack speed, and I believe the max is, it'd be like 0.31 on that hero. Something around there, but oh, Ling,
Yeah.
Invis Rune. They have the vision
BKB
though.
straight to the Fiend script. The Omni Slash is going to go. Doesn't actually hold that stun anymore. Not enough for the change. And Ling, well, he'll still go down to the Viper. And the Viper jumping forward. Yamate's just so damn low. The poison attack can't kill him off, however. He just wants to run out of here. That lightning
winning the
bounce
fight.
from Viper. Ultra kill comes out from him. And 1, 2, 3. They've kind of just lost everything.
What is happening today, Toby? What are these games? What
This-
have you brought me into?
Dude, this is SEA.
Where am I?
This is SEA, Dota. Like, there's only one team, I'm not even going to say scene, there's only one team which is able to have such back and forward style games of just question mark of how it happened, and that's Invictus Gaming. The no one switches, the no one throwers, moving from awesome to bad. But that pickup from Signature.Trust, the Viper play, he just sat there. Like, you attack into the leader, but you got lightning bouncing around through every one of 1, 2, 3. Signature.Trust did their work perfectly too. Their entire team coordination just... And 1, 2, 3 let themselves go into that position. Death Ward, Paralyzing Cask, all went to work. And they couldn't move back out again. Lakel's burned his entire ultimate.
Dire's structures are fortified.
And that was just, most of it was starting over on Bane.
I just don't even know. Like, Lakel's can pick up his full Abyssal Blade here. He's about 200 gold short, so he'll probably buy it and then just clear up these Ancients. Or actually, he doesn't even want to risk it. Wants 0 chance of not having buyback.
Just to flag that little thing I also said during the team fights, I know I kind of like brushed over it very quickly. The older Juggernaut with his Omni Slash actually had a stun that would pierce immunity with the first attack.
Right.
That has been since removed. So the start, he had to rely on all the damage to kill off Ling, as opposed to just interrupt him with the Omni Slash.
Yeah, well, you can get a bash too.
Can you actually get a bash in the first hit? Or with any of the
Well,
Omni
you
Slashes?
get a bash with your Skull Basher.
Does that actually work when you're doing Omni Slash though?
It should, yeah, because you can get procs, right? I think. Of course, now you got me questioning myself.
I question mechanics all the time. I never have enough confidence in myself for it. The only reason I have confidence in the Juggernaut changes is because I've already had this debate with Blitz previously. So we learned from that situation. Alright, so they have to wait for the...
big nerf.
This rocket has to disappear, and now it has. Signature.Trust are going to take another Roshan. This is Aegis as well as Cheese. The rocket flies in. That Ice Blast from 343 is also on its way. But it's already too late. Unless this Clockwork is in position. Where's that hook shot? He's being body blocked up by the rest of his teammates. So they start the spin. The Aegis Immortal is over on jab, and now in comes your hook shot. The Cogs will push them all back out as Doombringer, he mops up the Witch Doctor and actually isolate out the Juggernaut, where the Fiend's Grip will be a full duration here from Ling, and 1-2-3 having a great fight. Ice, he actually force-ups up, and he got caught in the edge of the tree line, so he'll go down as well. The Viper still alive for now, but they'll have to kill him twice over. PPX, he's such a tanky Doombringer. Even that Sonic Wave from Queen of Pain doesn't do enough. He has to trigger Cheese to stay alive. But the Viper, now again, he's being controlled. Ling is taking himself out of play by nightmaring up. And the Queen of Pain has to blink away to safety. But is this really safe? The triple buyback comes out from Trust. They're losing their base. The tier 4 towers went down. I said one fight. Cleanly for 1-2-3 would win it for him, but they still burnt the Aegis as well as the Cheese in there. So it wasn't a clean fight.
What a great save by Ling. That Nightmare Ray at the end there. Just a little bit, like, just ran out of gas, waiting for all the spells. For my ABBA. A. Sounds like the Konami code or something every time I look at it.
Man, you just cast him for a while, and you actually get used to just saying it. It rolls off the tongue for me these days.
It's like a healthy little yodel.
Yes, I could just imagine a yodeling a yodeling boy from Thailand.
Just beautiful. All right, well, where are we now? So they finally lost a fight. It happened.
It did. But now Signature.Trust, like, the bigger problem is the fact, like, it changed the fact that there were so many buybacks. Like, you expended 3 buybacks. Viper, Juggernaut, as well as the Night Stalker. They all bought back. It wasn't really needed, however. Because they only needed one hero to buy back and defend. And the Viper could have done that by himself. Like, when I saw those 3 buybacks come out, I was like, okay, Trust is going to push. They're going to try and capitalize on the situation. I'm like, wait, what's the situation? They can't capitalize on anything. Oh, wow. That's it. So the E-Blade now arrives from the Lina. When that BKB is over from the Viper, he'll never be able to attack. Maybe even for the Juggernaut, who's not even running a BKB. But then he's got Omni Slash, he doesn't really care. And Doom gets the almost out-of-date Aghanim Scepter build. At least forces Viper to walk away.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's all about that duration these days. Not really any. Well, I guess it is nice for that passive on the Viper too.
What? Where Viper does more damage because he gets affected by an Aghanim Scepter? Is that where your line of thought was going?
Oh well, no. Just get rid of that corrosive skin so that he's not like get rid of his the defensive aspect of it, so that his teammates will be able to help burst him down like from the side of the Doom.
Ah, true.
Because you'll be able to break it now.
They're moving forward. PPX, the man to get caught out. Do they have enough? The Lotus Orb's over on the Queen of Pain. They wanted to jump forward. And, well, there goes your Sonic Wave, but the Doombringer with the Omni Slash and the Death Ward, they have enough. The Hookshot will come in, and Ice will isolate the Witch Doctor, killing him off with the Fiend's Grip. He controlled the Queen of Pain, but not anymore. Well, after support arrived, an Ancient Apparition's going to go down. 1, 2, 3. They're losing another fight. But how much damage can Signature.Trust really do? Lakel's is chasing after Ice, but he can't keep the battle going. The Cogs are keeping Lakel's out. And Ice can... Actually, he doesn't even have a TP scroll. He's trying to hookshot himself down to his own creep wave and keep the push going. So all that Signature.Trust can get in return is the tier 2 tower in the top lane, and potentially some damage into the tier 3 tower and force a buyback. That'll be the dream, but they don't have time. Their fortress is about to come under attack.
Yeah, and she's even gone for the Maelstrom now. Just complete and utter creep split push. I wonder, oh, is Yamate trying to make plays? He's got the Invis rune. This could actually be game deciding. But can you catch him out before he can pop the BKB?
They have...
There's no detection.
It depends how you do it. At the same time, Clockwork's waiting for the hook shot up.
Oh, he's got the sheep. Oh, yeah.
Like he rockets from below. There's your jump with the Hex Laguna Blade. Queen of Pain. Yep, she's down for the count. And now it's up to
E-Blade's still
Hookshot. Hookshot and cancel these TPs out. They're starting.
Ancient is under
Okay,
attack.
no.
There's no TP on the Kells,
Dire's top barracks
but
are
I don't think they'll need him.
Signature.Trust still kind of got what they searched for. Like, they take out the top ranks, now they have a lane in their favor. And the Queen of Pain has buyback, so they weren't going to lose the game off her death. But it was still sneaky by Yamate. How long we got for Roshan? Another 3 minutes until he potentially can spawn. Other major items, Ancient Apparition. What is... Are we looking at more Lotus Orbs? Are we looking at what?
It could be Lotus Orb or
The Refresher doesn't make any sense, so it could also be a Lincoln Sphere,
no,
but
it's really no good.
what are you going to be blocking with a Lincoln Sphere? Yeah, it's...
Yeah, it doesn't block Omni Slash, of course. Only the first one. So.
But with a
it's not
Lotus
really
Orb, you'll
much-
be able to return Omni Slash.
Yeah, so much more advantageous.
Yeah. However, an Omni Slashing... what? Ancient Apparition?
All right, finally.
It's going to be used for everybody else.
Yeah, just stacking that on top of probably his Doom.
On the Lena. I'd prefer it. The Doombringer's just tanking through everything. Yeah, if you actually had an Omni Slashing Doombringer, that damage output would be fairly good. Even though he's going for defensive items.
And we finally have Boots of Travel and Lakells. It's been a long time coming, but this actually gives them a chance in terms of like actually getting a push off the next really big one fight, because the other Boots of Travel you just can't commit anything, and there still isn't any on AA, and like he's kind of been the one who comes back to base and split pushes and keeps the waves out, but without TP that means he can't be in these fights.
Give him time, man. He'll get there.
It's close.
And with the Mjolnir, he'll push fast enough and farm fast enough that he can just farm up into the BTs. But he doesn't want to sacrifice his buyback. Like, that's more important than anything else. And Signature.Trust have managed to burn through almost all of their buyback cooldown time. It's 46 seconds until these buybacks come off cooldown. Now the BKB from Ling, they jump in on the Viper. How they got enough to finish this? It's Lakells. He moves in as well. Viper is just so low. They got him down for the count. The Ice Blast has its effect too. Witch Doctor, the hook shot. He cancelled the Death Lord, so they don't have the physical damage available. This may be a little bit too much for Signature.Trust to deal with. They've lost 3. They're about to lose the 4. The Night Stalker's retreating out. AABBAA, he is locked in the middle of the fight. The buyback will come from the Witch Doctor. MyPro was able to escape. The 1, 2, 3 are bearing down the middle. The buyback comes out from the Quap. Even when
Seconds till Jug.
Juggernaut has 10 seconds before he can buy back. The Viper is short by 200 gold.
Radiant's
And 1, 2, 3, they're going for Megas. This is actually buying the time. Juggernaut, do you do it? Yep. Instant buyback. The Paralyzing Cask will bounce. AABBAA jumps forward on the Ancient Apparition. Cops a little bit of damage early on, but it isolates Yamate. They go for the Omni Slash and Yamate. He's down. They brought down the Lena, but she has buyback available, TPing back on top of the Bane. The hook shot actually flies down towards the base. And, well, it actually isolates the rest of Signature.Trust, so a little bit further north. And this will be GG. 1, 2, 3 will finally take out the Radiant Ancients. Lakel's got nothing more to fight with. The Lotus Orb's over on the Clockwork, so anything they do against him will end up just being returned. And it actually looks like, yeah, there it is. The game is done. The game is over. And game number 1 will belong to 1, 2, 3, taking just over an hour.
2 games in a row, man. They held on for so long and they win so many of these consecutive fights, but it takes some serious resolve as a team to pull one of those out, and that's why we just don't see it so often. I mean, you gotta win. What is it like? It's like 12 fights in a row. It seemed like they won about 10 of them, and they just couldn't get it done.
This
But
game,
well played. I mean, they held in there.
this game is so much harder than it needed to be. So much harder than it needed to be. If that fight didn't happen underneath the tier 2 tower on the top lane, yeah, this game would have been over probably 20, 30 minutes to go. But it's over now. We'll be having game number 2 coming up, so stay tuned. 1, 2, 3 versus Trust will not end here. It's our last game for the Southeast Asian region tonight, but we still have more games coming up for the European division starting at 6 p.m. 3 best of 3s with the semi-finals and the grand final for the European closed qualifier. Then we get the European division underway for DotaPit. A lot of action coming your way, so stay tuned. We will return.